Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please state your name clearly.
My name is Sonia Burn.
Mrs. Burn, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
All right, we are interviewing you about Hurricane Hattie. What do you recall about Hurricane Hattie?
My recalling on Hurricane Hattie is that I had just turned 8 years old because I was born in 53 and that was 61, right?
Yes.
So I was 8 years old and days. September was my birthday and it happened at the end of October. I recall my mother, my little sister, there was a lot of rain. And I recall waking up and asking her, why is the breeze so strong? And she told us that it was a hurricane. And I kept asking her, what is a hurricane? She said to me, I don't know how to explain it to you. It's just a lot of rain, thunder, lightning. And it sounded scary because the breeze was like howling. That's all I could remember. And then the landlord lived upstairs while we were renting the downstairs.
Approximately where? Which neighborhood was this?
This was on Basra Street, where
Okay.
Dave's Furniture World now is, in front of that. It was an upstairs and a downstairs wooden house. It had a zinc fence with a few pails I could recall. And my brother was staying with the priest then, and I didn't see when he came, but my mother said my brother came to tell her to get out of the house because the hurricane is here and we may not have time to get out afterwards. Then the lady didn't want us to open the gate, or it was raining so hard that we couldn't see what to do. Then the lights went, the blackout. So with the thunder and lightning, I guess the lightning, my mother said somebody managed to pull a pail out and we got out. When we got out, I could vividly remember seeing zinc flying. And one came close to us and we ducked. And my mother, I remember, she said, agachate, which is stoop, because one almost hit three of us. Another one, like one behind the other, zincs were flying off house top.
And you were in a pail, you said, or you?
No, somebody took out a pail from the fence for us to get out. Because the lady didn't want
Okay.
us to break down the fence because my mother realized it was serious. And she asked the lady, Miss Carmela, to please if she could take off a couple of pails so we could get out.
Okay.
And she said no, she don't want anybody break down her fence. But I wasn't there, but I remember my mother telling us that. And I remember her saying, this is serious, we have to get out. So my brother came, I think him and somebody else, they took out 2 pails and we managed to get out. We were like a couple of yards away from St. Ignatius Church. While we were going, the water was like a foot and a half, like say 15 inches, my mother said when I asked her today. And but while going, a lot of obstacles flying, you hear houses creaking. And I remember when my mother held on to my little sister, one was on the left, one was on the right. The rain was so hard, the water kept coming out of nowhere. I don't know from where, but I remember seeing it rising. By the time we reached the, but about 2 times, one of us sank. And when my mother pulled that one, the other one sank. And she was like, then one of us got away, which was me. But she grabbed me by the clothes and managed to bring me up. And I remember the water reaching to my breast then at the time. It was almost like fast, rapidly rising. We got into the church. While we were in the church, the water started coming higher. And it was coming on to daybreak. I don't know the time approximately, but I know it was clear enough that they brought a canoe and they took us to the school. The church was like, the school was across from the church. And when we got there, I remember they took us over in 2s. Me and my sister, then my mom. And then there were these soldiers. They took us in the school, backed us, and that's where we ended up passing the rest.
And are the church and school the same that are standing now?
They are the same. The same. Nothing has been changed except I guess new renovations to inside and outside of the school, but they stand the same.
Okay, what day did you return back to your home?
I think it was almost, I'm sure it was more than a week or two because I remember lining up to go get food. They gave us tickets.
Who is
Then
they? Who is they? Please
the
elaborate.
I would think it's the government
Mm.
gave the British to give them out to us or the Red Cross. I don't know how we got them, but I know we got tickets. The children got some color and the adults got another color. We lined up. In the morning, they gave us breakfast at the school, but at 12 o'clock, we had to go by. I remember going by Wesley College. That's where they served the food. Then we went back out. Then I recall seeing, like the day or two after, bodies being brought. And as a child, you know, you're very curious. You heard about them taking them somewhere to burn, and a couple of us followed and saw that they split the toe, put a match and light it, and bodies stood up. So we ran back to school. That's I could remember.
And what about your landlord or other survivors? What type of conversations did you all have after the hurricane?
About the landlord, I don't know where she went. I'm sure she was taken to the school, but where? Probably because it was so crowded, they had to find spaces to put us.
And what were the children doing? Were you all playing or were you all just, you said you got into some kind of mischief?
Yes, as kids, yes, we played a lot. We played games, and I remember we used to write numbers on papers, and we used to call numbers. And your number that is being picked, you have to sing, or you have to dance, or you have to do something.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Burn. That's all for today.
Yes, thank you.